All right, Gamonad.
Monad.
Thank you all for jumping on for episode 31 of Beyond the Price. Pythians, we're back for another week, and I've got lots of guests on today, and maybe some more dripping in as we chat today. But yeah, only made sense to, I guess, unite a couple of purple ecosystems. Lots of purple around the room, and it's going to be a super fun one to catch up on everything Monad. I think a well-executed launch. I'm very, very excited to hear from you guys about a bit the insight and what's been cooking on each of your in each of your kitchens, because I think it's a very competitive ecosystem as well, since lots of builders were here. But yeah, thank you all for humping on. Great to have you.
Thanks for having us.
Amazing. And no, but I'll call out, and you can do a quick round of introduction, so we know who you are and what protocol you are from. I'll get you first on. Tom, go ahead, take the mic.
Sounds good. Appreciate you having us. This is Crypto Tom here from the Curvance team. Pretty much head up a lot of the marketing and content creation for the most part. But for those who don't know, Curvance is a lending borrowing platform powered by Monad that we just launched later in the day yesterday. So it's been a busy week to say the least. We just got back from Argentina on Monday, so glad to be here.
I'll tagging Ed.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. My name is Ed. I'm one of the co-founders of Loot Go. We're kind of building the way I think of it is like a Pokemon Go with crypto rewards. So we're a real-world treasure hunting mobile game. We're available on iOS and Android. We first started pitching the idea for Loot Go at Monad Madness Bangkok. So I guess it's about a year now. And we've grown quite a bit over the past year. We launched a mobile app. We have about 50,000 players right now, 10K DAUs. And since testnet, we've been working with many different Monad partners. I think by my count, we've worked with 80 different projects, putting in rewards like NFT whitelists, testnet tokens, or early access codes, etc., inside the treasure chests. And you can win all these cool Monad rewards through the partners, by walking every 1,000 steps, you get a treasure chest, or you can, get a treasure chest by walking to randomly spawn loot boxes. But I think Keone put it really well when we pitched our idea, and he said this is a really good project for getting people healthier and wealthier. And so if you can earn rewards while being active, so be it. This is probably one of the best ways to do it. So yeah.
Amazing. You're gonna have I escaped Pokemon Go mania. You're gonna have me hooked on something similar. Thanks for your service. Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Pierre. So I'm Tony. I head up strategy at Monday Trade. For those of you who don't know, Monday Trade is Monad's native spot and perps DEX. So we just went live today with our second perps pair, which is ETH USDC. Went live on Monday with the BTC pair. And so I guess the way that we position ourselves is we're a fully on-chain order book and AMM model combined, both for spot and perps. So it's a slightly different approach, provides deep liquidity for some of the more nascent pairs as well. And yeah, leveraging Monad's unlocks in terms of its scalability and capacity, really to have something that we've all been dreaming of, which is fully on-chain perps. Yeah, very excited to be here to talk about Monad and the ecosystem and hear from the other builders as well.
And last but not least, Rachit.
Thanks, Pepito. It's awesome to be here. I'm Rachit. I lead global expansion at the Wormhole Foundation. Wormhole is essentially an interoperability protocol. We did a bunch of different things on Monad. So you can go to monadbridge.com. You can also go to portalbridge.com, which is Wormhole's dedicated front end. There's also an instant off Portal Earn, which is our incentivized layer on top of Portal. So if you bridge to Monad, you get XP all across. We are also the team behind Sunrise, responsible for the day one launch of the Mon token on Solana. So we can talk a lot about that. And then, yeah, we work with a lot of the Monad teams, like we work with the Curvents guys. I love those guys. And many other teams. So yeah, very excited to be here.
No, but I mean, thank you all for hopping on. I'm checking if I have no one in the waiting room, but no, so far we're the five of us. But I mean, I'm keen to hear a bit on how does the tech? How has the tech delivered since mainnet? I haven't seen anyone screaming, "Oh, there's it's slow. There's issues." It seems like it has been flawless or close to flawless technical launch. Is this what the builders from within have felt like?
That's what it seems like for us. We had to launch a day later just because there's like hundreds of these different like price oracles and integrations. So it's not as much as like just flipping a switch. So I guess the benefit was we didn't get mixed into the noise on Monday. We kind of were able to like take a breather and then really capture that attention yesterday. But yeah, overwhelmingly the tech has been great, and it helps having a lot of awesome teams that web into this hub that we have with Curvents at least. So I'm curious if some of the other fellows here had a similar experience.
Yeah, on our side we felt very similar. No real complaints. I mean, I saw some shit posting on X with this guy who was saying that it's only like 60 TPS or something. Obviously failing to understand that doesn't mean the max TPS has been reached, right? But yeah, I think it's also encouraging to see like the approach that the ecosystem and the foundation team have taken versus some of the other chains, right? I was looking at DeFi Llama today, and I think there's about 120 million in TVL overall, which is not the same as something like Plasma when they first started out, or Parachain, for example, which got a lot of hype. Obviously, there are still data that needs to be integrated there for those projects that haven't maybe done that yet. But speaking to the foundation team and the ecosystem team, we definitely feel like they're here for the long run and not just like a quick sort of buck with some sort of highly incentivized TVL deals. So yeah, it's been very very encouraging in that respect for us to see that.
Yeah, I think Abdullah also put out a post yesterday where he explained why Monad didn't have incentivized TVL on day one and how they're looking to build it brick by brick and create useful TVL. I thought that was really interesting. On the Wormhole side, we've been working with Monad. They announced in 2023. So we've been working really closely with them for 2 years. One thing that really stood out for me yesterday was, Intern Tunes, the entire Monad team was on the timeline. They were in the chats. They were trying to solve as many user issues as possible. I'm pretty sure their Discord must have been buzzing as well. And I think we lost Pierre.
I'm back.
You're back? Okay. I thought that sort of in the trenches responses is really critical for any team on day one. And I genuinely believe that the builders who are building in this ecosystem feel that, the personal touch that they add.
I also want to say that like it felt almost anticlimactic, like when the launch happened, in a good way, right? Like it's not like major things blew up, or like it just felt like very smooth, and maybe maybe anticlimactic is the right word, but for a mainnet launch, that's actually a good thing, right? Like you don't want something to like blow up, people talk about it, and at least for us, it just felt very smooth. There's really been almost no difference that the users are like, oh, are we on mainnet now? And it's like, oh yeah, we are. Like you don't have to do anything. Like it's just now on mainnet. And so like maybe it was a little bit too smooth. People were kind of confused. And I think that's I don't know, that's a good thing. Especially like for us, like we're trying to target like non-crypto users and sort of go beyond that. So like the fewer sort of like these kind of questions that we get, the better, right? And I just want to also say like shout out to the Monad Foundation team that have been extremely supportive and like finding more opportunities to like amplify like messages, or when people like make reference to us, like they're like really on it and just like pinging us like, hey, like this guy mentioned you, like you might want to respond. Like it's I want to say like the support is definitely there, and I definitely feel the love, which it's been great.
And as a pure, I'll take the pure user perspective. First, not having to claim my airdrop was very weird. Almost felt like, okay, where's my mon? Oh, now I can already use it. So I already lost a bunch on that beer pong game. Bro fun. Anyways, and also on the team, the foundation support, I completely agree. As there had been, probably, I don't know how many teams in total, but I know from our own perspective and experience with Pith, launching a bunch of pushed feeds, randomness, and so on. That's kind of, key critical infrastructure for a bunch of DeFi, has been very smooth. And what made me laugh every time I was scrolling a bit the timeline was seeing Keon dropping a reply, "Thank you for your support," to all the projects that were shouting them out. So Keon got busy on the timeline and thanking everyone. But yeah, that was a very good launch where tons of stuff to do, and even almost too much, because I was like, okay, where should I park a bit of my Mon stables? Where should I stake? But that's a bad problem to have. A good problem to have. One more for you, Rachit. I was wondering, how was the the flow, the inflow to Monad through I guess Portal, Wormhole, and how does it compare to, I guess, I don't know which one was a big launch, L1 launch or L2 even recently, but how does that compare?
Yeah, I think before that, Pierre, I do want to hit on the point that when the airdrop happened yesterday, for an hour or like for 10 minutes at least, I was looking for the claim page. So it was really awkward for me as well. And then to update my browser to see, okay, I actually do have my money. So I was in the DMs with the team to figure that out as well. So
where's my airdrop?
Yeah, it weird that it wasn't in the wallet directly, but it should feel that way. In terms of inflows, I'm looking at wormholescan.io right now. There's only $41 million that's been flown into the Monad ecosystem, 50% of it from the Ethereum ecosystem. I think it's unfair to compare it to any other ecosystem launch because, as Tony said, with Berachain, with Plasma, all of these pre-deposits have immense inflows, and then you see it sort of dip down. It'll be interesting to see how the Monad ecosystem gathers up more TVL. One thing that we did notice, which was super interesting, through Sunrise and the Mon stuff that you could do on Solana, a lot of bridging activity happened to Solana, and a lot of activity happened there. So I can pull up some stats for you to tell you how relevant it was.
I think you can share your screen if you want. I can pull it up.
No, I think that's fine. I have it written down. Okay, so in terms of the first 24 hours, 183 million tokens were bridged over to Solana. About 5,500 wallets were accumulating Mon tokens on Solana in the first 24 hours. So what you see is, with people getting the airdrop, this sort of airdrop TVL was distributed to where people want to utilize capital. A lot of that was utilized on Monad, and a lot of inflows came in, but a lot of things happened in different ecosystems as well. I think that's the lay of the land in terms of how the multiverse ecosystem has treated Monad in the first 2 days.
No, because I guess I've seen a couple stats that Solana was the place where Monad was was the most traded and the most volume, which is kind of shocking when you know that I guess Hyperunit had the Mon token as well on Hyperliquid rather quickly, but quite interesting and I guess a good collaboration and some great marketing over the weekend as well.
Yeah, great collaboration. So spot volume on Solana was higher than Hyperliquid, which was really interesting for our team as well. And there was a lot of sort of chatter about, why would competing blockchains do this sort of collaboration? Saeed's been really public about saying this in terms of, I think there's a general shift in terms of how teams view competition and what the crypto landscape actually looks like. This industry only exists and it grows because we're all interoperable and composable. And none of the teams that we talk to actually think that they will win because their asset is available only on their blockchain. So I think we'll see more of this. I think it's really, really interesting. Again, if you're bridging into the Monad ecosystem, go try out monadbridge.com, try out portalbridge.com, earn those XP. In terms of me as a user, how I felt, I tried a couple of apps. I have this weird habit of just playing my airdrop around and seeing how fast it is. The chain is really fast. I could feel it. It felt great.
Some very weird behavior from you. Come on, testing the speed of the chain. No, very cool. And on more, on the apps layer, what are you guys? Aside, you can do some selfless shilling of your own teams and protocols. But what are some outside of this room, some apps that you've been testing and enjoying so far?
Rashid, before we get into that, I just want to say it's probably a good thing that you couldn't find your airdrop, because the initial price of Mon just dipped for a few hours and then it went in the other direction. So one of my colleagues, I was also thinking is there a claim page? And I messaged one of them and they said, no, it should be in your wallet already. And then I just forgot about it. And then good thing that I didn't sell it. Not that I am planning on selling it, but in terms of some of the other apps I've seen, we've integrated across quite a few different DEX aggregators at this point, and Crew has done a great job at building out its brand within the Monad ecosystem as an aggregator. We also have seen some interesting launch pads go live, the likes of Nad.Farn, Flap as well, that's a partner of ours. But ultimately, especially because it's early days in the ecosystem and there aren't that many necessarily tokens that are, let's say, sustainable. It means that really a lot of the activity that can happen is around perps, right? And so we're very excited about that being the only now there's another perps DEX as well called LevRup that's also just gone live, but until I think today we were the only perps DEX live. So yeah, come check it out. That's a shameless shill right there. We have a points program that's already gone live. We're part of the Monad Momentum campaign. So that's an initial campaign with a few select DeFi projects on Monad for early user acquisition. So yeah, come check it out. One thing I would caveat is that we are only desktop at the moment, just because we haven't been able to get mobile functionality going just yet in terms of timings, but hoping to roll that out soon as well.
Love a good shell. Tom, I'll do some shilling for Curvens for you when they're on today. Deposit some stables. I love the UI, so clean. What's the most interesting thing you've seen from your perspective into users coming into Curvens and using the product?
Yeah, I think when we went live yesterday, the yields were insanely juicy and things were still kind of washing out. I think today, as we've seen deposits flow in and the yields kind of stabilize, people now have an opportunity to get yield and track their rewards, which is really cool. You had that claim button at the top, which people kind of gets their dopamine going. But you're getting bytes, which is our point system, and while depositing. So we have this gamble game where people can spin to get more bytes and other prizes and stuff. But even with the few markets that we have, with only Shimon, Fastlane being active, it's pretty astonishing to see how many people have been aping in. I think the Agora market is built up a huge part of that. I think we're close to 17 million right now in total deposits, but Agora is just crushing it right now. But it'll be interesting when we've got a Priori and Kinsu and Magma, and kind of it's almost like a race to see where the flow goes. But Fastlane already has such a strong start. It's hard to match that.
No, very cool. And actually, this is Fastlane. This is the one I haven't staked with Edimon, but I guess I go against the flow. Ed, I'm the most. This is LootGo is the one I'm the less knowledgeable about. I'm interested to have, I guess, your thoughts on mainnet and how it went for LootGo, and a bit of the strategy to attract non-crypto users, because I think you said earlier that this is something you guys are really, I guess, looking to do. How do you guys go about this?
Yeah, I think we've built the experience to be very like conceptually accessible for most people because treasure hunts is one of those concepts that's like, like every culture around the world has a concept of treasure hunting. And I think like with Pokemon Go, that also has like exposed a very large audience to like the idea of like using your mobile phone to go out and, like collect things, right? And so like when we have like this mobile, mobile real world treasure hunt, and we put rewards in treasure chests, then we make it like super easy, especially like when we integrate with like Privy Wallet. So you just sign up with your email, and then you get a embedded wallet created for you, and then you just go out and then you open up treasure chests. Inside them are things like raffle tickets, or it could be like some tokens, and it just goes directly into your embedded wallet. And then you can like spend your raffle tickets for weekly raffles, and those are usually provided by partners from Monad, from like beyond the ecosystem. So for example, like Ledger has like 2 Ledger Flexes in this week's like weekly raffle. And so yeah, we almost kind of think of like LootGo as like just a mobile game rather than like a Web3 mobile game. And I think like if we can make it like super accessible for non-crypto users, then I think like as long as it's like really fun and something that actually you can build daily habits with, then I think that's great. We've kind of validated the stickiness because our day 30 retention is over 50%. So to put into context, day 30 retention for Pokemon Go is 15%. And the average mobile game after 30 days is only 3 to 5%. So we're like 15x stickier than like the average mobile game. And I think like we've sort of seen early validation of like non-crypto users because we actually ran a campaign with Bonk in Korea back in like July, and also a second one in September. And for some reason, it just really hit a nerve with Korean moms. And so moms in Korea, like it just went super viral within this group because they were like, oh, like you can, collect the like crypto tokens. Like if you like walk around, if you're like, bring your kids to like daycare or whatever, like you can along the way, you can like, earn steps and then open up loot boxes. And so I think like for them, like it was just like really exciting because like these sort of like move to earn type of experiences do exist also in the Web2 world. But I think the rewards are like definitely not as exciting because on average, I think like, let's say like Cashwalk or like Sweatcoin, for example, you're only earning about like $2 a month. And that's if you play like quite a bit, like every single day. But, I think in Web3, like we know that, if you win like a token, 5 cents is not 5 cents, right? That 5 cents could turn into like $2, the next day, right? So like there's this element of like surprise and excitement there. And I guess maybe to answer your question about like how we're approaching like acquiring non-crypto users, I think the foundation has been like I think one thing that they've always emphasized is like how do you grow beyond crypto users, right? And I think that's like actually really cool that they kept on emphasizing that like even very early on because I think as much as the crypto community has grown, it's still obviously like a subset of the entire world, right? And so I think like if we build experiences that are more accessible for the larger audience, then we have a shot at like having more crypto adoption as well. Like I think it'll be more like crypto Rails rather than like, oh, this is like a crypto project. I think one thing that we're trying to do is like because the concept of treasure hunting is like very accessible for people, we think of ourselves as like a really good onboarding mechanism to crypto. And then we sort of slowly introduce sort of casual DeFi elements of it, right? So for example, you can imagine, hey, like if you deposit like $100 into LootGo, then you can earn like yield, but then also you get more rewards, right? Like maybe you get like a 1.2 multiplier for the rewards that you get. And so like we're kind of like slowly introducing these like casual DeFi concepts to non-crypto users. And of course, like we all know, like yield is usually better in crypto compared to like your bank and like 0.5%, right? So I think there's definitely a lot of room to grow. And yeah, happy to share more later. Yeah.
No, and quite interesting that just Korean moms said that let's do it. Rachit, back to you. I want to hear a bit about Sunrise. What is it? And also a bit, I mean, as we were following along the weekend, a bit behind the scenes, if you have, on the account getting suspended and probably put a wrench in the weekend plans a bit.
Yeah, no, it was horrible. But before I get to that, Ed, you need to come to India. This kind of application that will blow up with like tuk-tuk drivers in India. So you definitely need to come down to Indian Blockchain Week, and you need to spread the word on the ground. So that's my soft India show. But essentially, what Sunrise is it basically enabled Mon to be listed on day one on Solana. So essentially think of it as a NTT implementation for Mon. Now, if you think about, centralized exchange listings, there are three things that these centralized exchanges do before they list any token. There's a technical part, there is the go-to-market strategy, and then there's liquidity sourcing. So similar to DeFi, centralized exchanges need to figure out how to bridge these tokens between chains. They need to figure out liquidity on these chains. They need to then figure out, earn models or how they're basically going to distribute these tokens to their user base, which is why, a lot of the bigger centralized exchanges are really selective in terms of the tokens that they list, and they're able to charge tremendous fees to do that. This obviously has been a big topic of discussion over CT over the past 4 or 5 months in terms of, if this is right or wrong and the pros and cons of such. Now, what Sunrise essentially enabled Monad to do, there was a lot of coordination work that went into this. The Wormhole Labs team, led by Saeed, did an amazing job in terms of putting all these pieces together. And then when the Mon token was available on Solana, all the trading terminals or the trading venues were able to access that and then make it available on day one. So you had Jupiter, Titan, Camino, all these different venues on Solana having access to that token day one and create markets. If you think about it, this should be the way that we list tokens in the future. These listings should be free. These listings should be accessible. We have all this amazing DeFi technology already built, but the DeFi rails are limited by the tokens that they're able to access, right? There are so many traditional or legacy tokens like XRP or ADA that aren't available on Solana, for instance. These sort of mechanisms will enable that, and we'll see more on-chain activity as a result. In terms of the account getting suspended, that was horrible. It took the team about a day to sort of figure that out. We had everyone sort of tagging us and retweeting us, and then it was horrible to see that the account is suspended. It is what it is. It's part of the Twitter life. It was a signal that we were doing something great. So I guess that's where I'm civil right now.
A good added to the story of the launch.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't. We don't talk token prices here, but it's very promising that the launch has been going so well without any Binance listing, which is usually the staple of a hyped launch and so on. And I think you guys nailed it. And with Solana's distribution and I guess community and users, created. Hopefully we'll see this a lot more, and people will use Sunrise to do this. So congratulations on the launch, guys. Anyways,
thank you so much.
I don't have any other questions particularly coming to mind.
I think talk a little bit about. I think one thing we didn't touch on was Monad Momentum.
Yes, true.
That's been my strategy so far. So I've only tried out two. I tried out Brofun and I tried out Kuru, but I have a lot of the other applications to test out. One that I have my eyes on is LeverUp. They're also a Wormhole partner. They essentially let you, do a lot of they let you do like 1,000x leverage, which is pretty crazy. So I've been thinking about trying that out. There's Mace as well. They're a DEX aggregator on Monad, and then Bean Exchange as well. So there are a lot of different, if as a user you're confused on what to do, I definitely recommend go try out all the applications on Monad Momentum.
Too many friendly teams, and I wish I could have had all those guys that in some way are using Pyth as well. But yeah, I mean, I think this is what's great, and you touched upon a couple perp dexes where Tony's here at Monday Trade, where I think there's going to be great, could see some specialization. And actually, Tony, I'm keen to hear your thoughts on the perp landscape on Monad and how you guys are maybe approaching the go-to-market. I think you said you have two markets for now, BTC, ETH. What's the, moving forward, a bit of the plan, if you can reveal, to attract Monad perp degen traders to Monday?
Yeah, that's a good question. Just to touch on what Rashid was saying as well, for those of you who haven't checked it out, the best place to find all those apps on Momentum are if you go directly to app.monad.xyz, there's a reward section there. And those are pretty much the ones that are in as part of the Momentum campaign. Regarding the perps landscape, I think there's some good healthy competition with Drake Exchange and Purple also going live in the near future, and Level Up obviously just going live recently as well. I think for us, one of the things that we've learned from previous experience. So just a bit of context here. Monday Trade is incubated and part of the Sim Futures Builder program. So for those of you who don't know Sim Futures, it's one of the leading perps dexes on Base. It's been around since 2021, done more than 300 billion in cumulative volume at this point. Partner quite closely with Pyth for some of those price feeds. So big shout out to you guys. And one of the things we've learned, I think looking back as well at Sim Futures and some of the learnings there as well is because we have a fully on-chain order book model. Latency is key, right? So if you're thinking about what the latency has been until very recently on, for example, Base is 2 seconds. Now with something called Flash Blocks, it's gone down to 200 milliseconds, but the reliability of that has actually not been that great. Whereas, and so part of the issue that causes is because the latency is not too fast. It means that market makers take on a lot more risk when they're providing liquidity, right? So essentially that just leads to thinner order books, right? With Monad, what we've seen is that the speed and the latency is decent. It's not 10 milliseconds, but it is close enough to be able to start providing like interesting liquidity depth. And so, and it's been highly reliable, right? And so for us, those are two like key things that we were looking at when we decided to build Monday Trade on Monad. Now, when it comes to the pairs that we want to build out, and I can't really go into too much detail there because we are still early days there. Expanding, I guess, the way that we think about margin is slightly different to other protocols, right? So I think one of the key decisions that perps dexes need to make, right, is how they think about risk across the whole protocol, right? And so you have our approach has always been to isolate margin. So each market is its own isolated market. You can think of it similar to, I guess, like Morpho's isolated design in terms of its market structure. So that means that contamination or contagion doesn't happen across different pairs, which is great for security reasons. And we've never had any issues around that, but not necessarily as efficient for some traders who want to use like cross margin and cross, or like sort of a complete trading account. Sorry, unified trading account. So those are some like the design trade-offs, right? The different teams have had to make, as well as like having a fully on-chain order book or not. When it comes to assets that are not crypto native, let's say, we're looking very closely at the RWA space because of some of the partners that we have also in the pipeline, and also some of, I think the foundation team as well at Monad is very keen to have more assets that are RWAs on Monad. So we're sort of co-exploring that together. So yeah, watch that space. Can't really say too much more at this point, but I hope that gives you a little bit of maybe a carrot dangling into where we're headed.
It does. And I mean, I'm not too much or I'm a very bad perp trader, so I just try to stay away from using these. But very interesting to watch where it goes in terms of market, especially from our own very selfish perspective with Pyth. What do traders and I guess builders want in terms of price feeds? Tom, Curvents, what are some of the cool, I guess, assets, markets that maybe excite you the most, or that you see, oh, this is where the nads are gonna love using Curvents. This is the maybe underrated killer feature that's gonna give me some joy to use.
Yeah, I think the beauty of the platform is that there's something for everybody. If you're a person that's a stablecoin maxi and wants to have a more conservative approach, we've got SAUSD or Earn AUSD markets, which are pretty high, especially when you loop those up. And what that means, for those that don't know, you're basically borrowing and collateralizing the amount that you've deposited and borrowing stables against that or Raptmon, and leveraging up your position. So that really is a great way to amplify, what would be a very conservative yield, and juice that up quite a bit. And now,
is this what Earn AUSD is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Agora's product, but it's in tandem with Upshift. We're actually putting out a post about that just here shortly, because I think there's been a lot of questions on how that works. But if people want kind of the more degen approach and want to have exposure to Mon and participate on all these LSTs, they can swap and wrap into those and then deposit and also borrow against it, which is I think a big distinguishing feature that we have is collateralizing an asset that's generating yield and borrowing Raptmon against that to get more of that LST. So if you're collateralizing, 10,000 Shmon that you got from your airdrop, you borrow, a high ratio against that. Let's say it's 70% and Raptmon, and you're just basically acquiring more of that Shmon because you're, bullish or long on the long-term vision of the price action as it stands. So it's interesting to see what people are dipping their toes in with their airdrop. And I think it's funny also to see, all these people like that were on the timeline that were, dunking on Monad, and they're kind of changing their tune, and it's forcing them to ape in and to be able to participate in these types of things. So it's really, really exciting times.
Because actually, now that you were talking upon this, is there now already a place where I can loop pretty much my
Yeah, I think it's active now. I'll have to check when I hop off. But I think on the first day it wasn't quite active.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a really good way to juice up your yield and then earn bytes in the process. And then some of these LSTs have their own points program, so you're kind of like triple dipping on an incentive. So pretty cool stuff.
No, indeed. Ed, how do I get started on LootGo? Like I'm right now, I don't know. I get on my phone? There's an app. I'm curious to.
All you have to do is if you're using whether it's iOS or Android, just go to the App Store. If you look for LootGo, you can download it. I think onboarding we've reduced quite a number of steps, so it should be fairly simple. And then if you've walked at all during the day, then you should have some steps in the step counter, and you should be able to get some treasure chests because we give you treasure chests like every 1,000 steps. And unfortunately, you can't test the exploring option because we purposely do not spawn loot boxes near you so that you can't just like download the app and start collecting ones on the map. You actually have to walk maybe at least 1 or 2 minutes in order to get the nearest box. And then inside will be raffle tickets. Actually, this week for the weekly raffles, we have like a CHOG GTD whitelist. We also have like a few like FCFS whitelists for like NFT projects like Spiky, Little Stars. We have like some Mace points. Just like we were looking for different partners to work with to put in rewards for the first week. But we have a larger campaign going up in probably about 1 or 2 weeks that it's going to basically be a continuation of our Monad Treasure Hunt testnet, but now it's going to be Monad Treasure Hunt mainnet edition, where we're going to continue giving out rewards. I think it's going to be really exciting. Tomorrow, I mean, this is kind of alpha, but tomorrow morning we're going to be including like some tokens, mainnet tokens on Monad, like inside the treasure chest. I think I remember earlier in this call, like, we were talking about how like there's not a ton of tokens right now, and so it took maybe 2-3 days to like find the right tokens to onboard and whatnot. But I think it's going to be really exciting, especially what we're going to do tomorrow. So
I've got 2 tickets on my first chest.
Congratulations! You can put in the 2 tickets too.
And 5 more now. 5 more on.
Oh, nice.
Chest.
Okay, You can literally win with 1 ticket. Like
so more magic internet money in my on my phone.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful.
But
you
only get tickets after Pepito. You didn't walk. Wait, Ed, how did that work?
So as part of onboarding, we do give him like tickets, like just so that
you don't see me. I'm walking here. You don't see me, but I've been moving around.
He's actually on a treadmill, like right now, mobile desk.
No, very cool. Because I'm not too much into iPhone apps, but I guess since I'm walking every day,
it's good to build up a daily habit. Like I think it's one of those things where it's like like once you build up this habit, I think what's really cool. Sorry, this is kind of shilling my own product, but I think what's really cool is that like when we work with partners and we put rewards inside the treasure chests, you can think of it as like the players are like super dedicated, like they're included this in their daily habit. So when they open up a treasure chest for walking the 1,000 steps or like actually reaching a destination, they open it and they're getting a reward. The reward is like your project's like token or like points or whatnot, and it's presented in like a very positive framing, right? Because like, oh, I've worked really hard, like I wonder what my reward is, and the reward happens to be like your project's like token or points, etc. And it's just like a very positive association. And when people open these boxes like about like 50 times a week, then it just becomes like, oh, like more and more like repeated exposure to your project, especially for people new to the ecosystem. And I don't know, like maybe, I don't know if my co-founder Yuki's like listening to this, but I always compare this to like the dating process, because like when you first meet, potential partner, you're not going to say like, I want to marry you, right? Or hopefully not. Like you kind of want like these like repeated, like high quality dates, right? Like more and more interactions. You kind of go from like, I don't know what you are, but okay, cool. Like that's who you are, to like, oh, I'm warming up to you. And it's like, oh, I'm all in, hopefully. And so that's kind of like how we've built that process.
No, so you're telling us dating advice, don't ask on the first date. Okay, got it. That's what I no, but the app looks super clean, and I didn't even create a wallet or connect something. Maybe at some point if I want to redeem or use my magic internet money, I'll have to, but no, super clean. CHOG, Mace. All right. Rachit, anything you're looking forward, I guess, and on more the portal sunrise? What's a bit? Is there, more stuff coming on the Monad Solana front that you guys are excited about working on that you can tell us?
Yeah, I think one thing that I didn't spend enough time on at the start was I'll talk a little bit about Portal Earn. So Portal Earn is essentially this incentivization layer on top of portalbridge.com. So you get XP to do like different activities. So one activity is transferring a stable coin. The other activity is transferring any token. So you get XP based on the USD value transferred. And then there are multipliers based on the certain activities you do. There are also certain campaigns we do with different teams. So the first campaign we did with the Unichain team called Full Send. There was one with the Mayan team called Mayan Flash. The one we did with the Monad team is called Monad Migration. And you'll see like this beautiful animation of all the sort of Monad characters walking together to Monad. Essentially, right now, if you transfer any token to Monad, you get 5 XP per USD transferred. And if you transfer wrapped ETH to Monad, you get 10 XP per USD transferred. So this is on earn.portalbridge.com. It is also on monadbridge.com. So there's your incentive to bridge into Monad.
All right. If only I had money left somewhere with these markets, but anyways, no. But I mean,
That's something I wanted to touch on actually, Pepito, because these markets have been terrible, right, recently, and I think it's actually quite interesting and quite telling that the one had actually closed the ICO sort of public sale on Coinbase, because it was a huge sale. I mean, you know, I remember thinking like that's going to be a lot of money to raise before they kicked it off, and raising, I think it was in total, I think it was nearing $270 million. Yeah, it was very encouraging. So I'm excited to see how that develops as well.
The new bull markets coming. Monad launching, starting the bull market. Got it. No, but thank you guys. I think we're getting close to, I guess, the hour, and I don't want to. I mean, I feel like we could keep yapping and yapping, but kind of want to give each like a bit of a closing thought on, anything you want. Send people to your platforms where they should follow you guys to make sure they've got all the good stuff that you guys are cooking. But I guess I've finished with Rad Sheet on the intro. I'll start with you, sir, now.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a bunch of different things you can do to interact with Wormhole on Monad. Obviously, go check out all the Monad Momentum applications. Obviously, try out Curbance, Monday Trade, and LootGo. Go on to, if you're bridging into the Monad ecosystem, go to portalbridge.com, go to monadbridge.com, earn those XP. They will be rewarded pretty soon, in my opinion. And if you're on Solana and you're a Solana enthusiast and you want to trade Monad tokens there, that's also a possibility through Sunrise. Yeah.
Boom.
Gmonad.
I think Ed went second to last. I'll send Ed now.
Sure, thanks. So go download LootGo from Apple or Google Play Store. Or you can just type in like lootgo.app/app and it will direct you to the right app store and play. It's super easy to get started. I highly recommend if you have family, friends who are non-crypto users and you want to get them onto Monad, definitely tell them to download it because, as we saw, like it's super easy to get set up. And then now they can start earning like, Monad tokens and other Monad rewards. And then for the already people inside Monad ecosystem, there's like there's like maybe like one of your last chances to get like a Chog GTD for the NFT or like FCFS for like a few projects. But yeah, we have like rewards live right now. So just like walk, collect tickets or tokens. But hopefully you can live like a healthier and wealthier lifestyle. Yeah, thanks.
And I can give you my access code, so I do some referrals.
Yes.
Tony.
Yeah, health is wealth. Yeah, so for Monday trade, one thing that I haven't mentioned until now, which is a key element, is that in order to trade perps, you actually need a referral code, which I obviously have a bunch of. So if any of you are looking for one, please drop it in the comments on the Pith X status for the space, or reach out to anyone on the Monday Trade team, and we can take a look at that as well. But yeah, it's currently gated, which means that all the rewards that are being run for our first week of the points program are going to only those initial users. Obviously, that's for additional testing on our side, but it's a good time to be on Monday Trade. So follow us as well on X or Monday Trade _ to keep up with everything that's going on. And just before we go, thank you so much for having us, Pepito. It's been great to be on the show. Pleasure.
And can I use Mon as collateral or USDC to trade when I have an access code and an access?
Initially, we're doing our pairs with USDC as the margin. Okay. We will be launching a perp pair very soon as well. It's just that as you know, those price feeds have just come on more recently, and we've been testing them ourselves as well. So yeah, watch this space as well.
Cool. Well, and then Tom, close it off.
Let's do it. Yeah. Like I said before, just, firstly, check out these teams that are on the spaces here. I know we've worked together in some way, shape, or form, some great people and some awesome projects. If you care to give Curvance a try, dive in head first. And, I always recommend maybe starting with small amounts just to kind of get acclimated. We have a really solid walkthrough that has step-by-step what different widgets and things mean, so you can get acclimated. But don't forget to refer your friends to spread the gospel of Curvance. But should have some more markets up this week as things kick off. But Pierre, really appreciate you having us today. It's been awesome.
No, and thank you. And I need more floppy in my life, so I'll be using and sending back feedback and everything that I see. But no, thanks to you guys. It was a bit of a last minute kind of YOLO stream to get a few people on, because it felt like a good time to have a bunch of Monad builders on. And yes, I've had teammates actually DMing me right now saying the live stream is really good. So it's thanks to you guys. So thanks for jumping on and spending a bit of an hour with us. And I hope the Pythians enjoyed it. And then I don't think I have any closing thoughts. We've got a very, very exciting one next week, which I think will take place on Tuesday next week, not Wednesday, but a very, very exciting one. A repeat guest. Maybe some will guess who it is. But no, guys, thanks a lot for the time. And actually, we might do some of these with other Pith friends now that you've got your turn. Hopefully I made some people jealous and asking me, hey guys, I could have come on here, but no. All love to you guys and to the Monad Eco that we're super thrilled to support. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
See you guys.
Pythians, we'll see you in the Discord, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers.